Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Welcome. So I think today what I'm going to be doing is, even though the UI here is not completely done, I think what I want to do is start getting it into the game just to see how it feels before I finish it up. And I want to move some things around. So yeah, we're going to be maybe just taking this whole chunk of art here and just trying to get it into the game, get it feeling and looking good. So we'll see what that does. I think what I'll do is, yeah, I'll probably just export this all as one sprite because it doesn't need to be more than one sprite, I don't think. That should make it nice and easy. So we'll see how it goes. But before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available for wishlisting. It's, linked in the description below, so check that out if you're interested in the game. I also have the Patreon, which you can join to support the development of the game. There are 2 tiers. The top tier, if you subscribe for even 1 month at the top tier, you will get an Alchemortis Steam key at launch, and you will also get your name in the Alchemortis in-game credits. So again, if you subscribe to this tier at any point during development, even for just 1 month, you'll get those perks. But I do hope that you consider staying subscribed at one of these tiers because it will help me as I'm trying to, number 1, pay for music. Number 2, I'm going to be hiring somebody to do the marketing. I might be bringing on somebody to do like some light game design consulting work. So I'm going to be putting a lot of effort and resources into making sure Alchemortis is really good. So yeah, that definitely helps. And then you can also help by purchasing one of my Udemy courses, which will teach you how to build a game in the Godot engine. So check those out if you're interested. And of course, you can join the Discord, that's free. You can like and subscribe, that's also free. And very much appreciate all that support as well. Okay. I didn't have my little social stream running, so we'll just take a look at this chat here. Hello, Meep. Welcome back. DevGhost, good to see you. Clickertail, welcome. Asymmetrics, how was Battlefield? It was so much fun. I basically just played it from little past launch time to like 6:30. So I played it for like 7 hours like yesterday with my friend. It was pretty fun. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Hello, Artem. Welcome back. Good to see you. Okay. What are we doing? Oh, you know what? I may have to... Let me think. These little parts sticking out are going to be a problem, I think. I guess we'll just try... We'll just try exporting the whole thing here. Export. Inventory. 100%. Selection, export. Okay. Now we're going to go into my drawer UI, and we're going to have to remake a bunch of stuff here. Player inventory. Oh, yeah. No, this is actually good. So I can just go to my player inventory here then. This frame here can change. So this is 102 pixels. I may need to wrap this. Well, this is already in a margin container here. Trying to think how I want to do this. I may need to wrap the frame. Let's do this. I might need to wrap the frame in a control node here. Frame container, put the frame in there. This frame container, custom minimum size. I guess that's not really needed. Mouse, ignore. Okay, so we can get rid of this now. And we're going to load up the inventory.png. Hello, Yeet. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Welcome. Okay, alrighty. So we're going to get rid of these things. Get rid of those. Oh, I did something wrong here. I got to get rid of this. And I gotta get rid of this text as well. Okay. So how does this work? $18 there. This needs to move down a little bit. So this margin container here, constants, margin top. This margin top needs to be, oh, this is going to be a problem, isn't it? Maybe not. Let's see. Take this. That is 53. So I got to make this 53 here. That should work. Okay. And then for the cell board, what do we got here? $288. I wonder why I did it like that. Why did I do it like that? I might... Let's just do another margin container here. So this is going to be the inventory margin container. This will be the cell margin container. UI looks awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think it's turning out good. Cats, can you stop? Thank you. They are just running around like mad cats right now. Okay, what did I say this one was? This one is 288. Perfect. Oops. I don't know why. Why do I have this as a VBox container? I don't know. I don't think I need that VBox container. Get rid of that. Get rid of those. Container sizing, shrink, begin. Yeah, that'll work. So we're gonna need to get rid of this text here. Get rid of these. We're gonna have to redo that text, I think. But that's all right. So now, yeah, that works. So these parts are sticking out here, which is fine. The main thing is that this main part is 102 pixels across. That's good. This currency display here. Why is this here? Probably just use another margin container here. I'm gonna have to edit this a little bit more, but that's all right. Shrink center. Shrink begin. This currency container. How far do we want to push this down? $194. Give that a shot, why not? Okay, let's see if I broke anything. Okay, I can't drag anything. That's very cool. That's very nice, very nice. And we still got these little pillar things sticking out here, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that. We'll move this button down a little bit. I just don't know, maybe I just have to hide it. Or should I shift? Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Looks good though. Is the middle part for a potential alchemy board? No, this will just be for like currency. I don't know what else to put here, honestly. I was thinking maybe I could put artifacts here, but I think that's going to be too small. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. Hello, RN Genesis. Welcome back. Hello, is that IS? Thinking about buying one of your Godot courses, and I would like to know if we can use all of your content offline, or do we need an internet connection after purchasing the course? Yeah, I don't think I have downloads enabled for the course. So yeah, you will need to have an online connection to view the course content, unfortunately. Currency spot, yeah. Is there any effect buff if the player maintains high blood? Not yet, maybe eventually, but wonder how many players appreciate this amount of work that goes into good looking UI like this. Even with fairly sophisticated tools Godot offers, is still a lot of effort. Yeah, well, it's a lot of effort because it's like, it's hard to do visually, just like it took a lot of time just to get this much and it's not even done yet. But then getting it all lined up and working and functional is a whole nother bag of worms. A bag of worms, not a can of them. We sell our worms in bags here. Put win-loss below blood or badges from defeated bosses or for effects. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. We can make some kind of clever use of this space, I think. I could even just leave it open so that if I want to have meta upgrades that extend the inventory, so you can imagine the inventory might start off being this 3 by whatever 5, and then you can just get upgrades that add new rows to the inventory all the way down to here. Maybe could be something, but we got a couple of issues here. I can't drag any cards anymore, and these little I don't know what they're called, the moldings here are sticking out when it collapses, so that's not good. So we're going to want to fix those things. Do you guys like the little moldings, by the way? I tried to make it look like a skeleton that's like holding something on its back. I don't know if I succeeded, but I think it's kind of cute. Anyway, how about placing the cards in the cell spot and having a button for each cell and alchemize? Good UI is appreciated subconsciously. I think it's good if you don't have to think about it. Yeah, we could still make some changes to how this functions, but we'll see. Mouse ignore stop on the control. It's probably this one, yeah. Now that you mention it, it's probably this one. Nope, it's not that one. It wouldn't be this one either. Let's already ignore this frame. Oh, frame container. No, that's already ignore. Is this one ignore? That one is ignore. This filter is stop here. Oh, maybe this, because this is ignore. Does this need to be stop? Or pass? Let's see if that needs to be stop or pass. Let's see. Nope. Do I have any errors? I don't have any errors. Cell margin container. Oh, here, ignore. There we go. That was the culprit there. Hello, cat. Hi, buddy. Who's my good boy? Who's my good boy? Anyway, I think that should work now. Yeah, now it works. Cell board works down here. Cool, currency is working. Combat log. Okay, we're getting there. So fix that issue. Now we gotta fix this sticking out. What am I gonna do about that? What am I gonna do about that? I might cheat a little bit. Let's see. This is 4 pixels wide. So this frame here, let's access that as a unique name. Let's create this. Let's do this. Oh, how is this being animated? We can probably do this. Let's see. Node, private, texture rect, frame, public void, play frame in, public void, play frame out, private tween, frame tween, frame tween dot kill if valid, frame tween equals create tween, frame tween dot tween position, frame new vector 2 -4 0 over how many seconds? Okay. So this is over 0.25 seconds with a delay of 0.1. .25 seconds dot set delay. Vector 2.0. Okay, so now in the drawer UI here, we've got the player inventory, I think, right? Player inventory, yeah. So when we do the play expand animation, player inventory dot play frame in, player inventory play frame out. Perfect. Let's see what that does. So basically what I'm doing is I'm animating this whole player inventory over, or this whole animation route over by 102 pixels, but inside of the player inventory, I'm going to shift this frame over here by 4 pixels as well at the same time. So it's just going to apply additional subtle animation to push it off screen. I'm hoping that that's going to not be noticeable, but let's see. It didn't work. Object reference not set to an instance of object. Oh. I need to do that. And then I also in ready here, frame.position is equal to new vector 2 -4 0. How long have you been practicing pixel art and how? It's been like 2.5 years at this point, I think. And basically the way, I mean, I have a pixel art tips video on this channel, which is basically what I did to practice it. But yeah, basically it's just start off small, start with a lot of constraints. So I started with like just black and white 1-bit color palettes on like 24 by 24 or 16 by 16 canvas sizes. And then I would gradually start working up toward more colors. And of course, just making games doing that. So doing all my Game Jam games, doing the pixel art for them was a good opportunity to practice. So yeah, I think if you watch that video, it'll kind of give you the general gist of how I approached it. But a lot of it just comes down to regular practice and studying other pixel art. I watched a bunch of pixel art channels on YouTube to figure out how the pros are doing it. So yeah. Oh, did I invert those? It looks like I inverted those on accident. Oops. Actually, you can notice a little bit of shifting there, so that's not going to work. Okay, here's what I'm going to do instead. Between action. Okay. We still need that kill if valid there. All right, let's see if that works. So I'm just gonna hide and show it instead of trying to animate it at the same time. That should hopefully work. So I do this, boom. Boom. Yeah, you can't really tell that it's just being made invisible at the last 4 pixels there. Cool. All right, that'll work. Yeah, that works. Awesome. I think that's looking really good. I think I want to update this UI here a little bit too, to more closely match this UI. Which is a shame because I just spent a bunch of effort on this UI, but it doesn't look quite the same. Like there's a very distinct style here versus there. But we'll figure it out. Okay, the other thing I want to do is get rid of these decorations here. I think I can probably just do this here. Export, private bool, hide decorations. If hide decorations, return. Okay, build. Okay, we'll go to the player inventory now. This here we'll do hide decorations, hide decorations. Boom. All right, that's looking good. Okay, so yeah, lots of work to do still. I got to figure out what to do with these empty spots. Still got to add some highlighting on the windows and down here. Want to put some text in here. Got to figure out the bottom part there. And then of course the middle part here still needs to have some work done on it. Okay, it's getting there. Oh, it's getting there. Hello, Tiramisu, welcome back. Hello, Parallel Highway. It's going well. How are you doing? Going well. Big Z, do you think you'll ever release anything for console? Maybe. We'll see. I think whether I release anything for console is really going to be a function of how successful it is on like desktop platforms. If Alka Mortis sells, you know, really well on desktop platforms and I'm just leaving money on the table by not porting it to consoles, then I will port it to consoles. It's mostly just an economic decision, you know. It's like with the level of success that Gunforged had, I don't think it would have been worth going through the effort of finding somebody to work with, to partner to release to consoles. I don't think it would have been that profitable if it was profitable at all. So it's really a question of scale, honestly. So we'll see. I'm not going to spend the effort porting to consoles if it's not selling any copies, but if it is, then yeah. Hello, High Law, welcome back. Always good to see you. Snupbill, thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that, as always. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. We have Yummers here. High Law once again tries to block the Yummers, but does not quite get it in time. How would you do an inventory system? What nodes should I use? I mean, it's a very general question. I think there's a lot of different ways to do it. The main advice that I would give you is the advice that I've given before, which is you want to separate the data of your inventory from the presentation of your inventory. So you don't want to tie up a bunch of your inventory state in the UI itself. What you should have is something like a pure class or a pure node that is the source of truth for what's in your various inventories, and that provides an API or public methods for modifying the inventory, and then it will emit signals depending on what has changed with the inventory. And then you want to make your UI purely responsive to those changes. And when you move things around in the UI, what you want to do is you want to call your pure data or your pure class, that's your inventory, modify the inventory that way, and let the inventory change update the UI. So for instance, here, when I'm moving the Skeleton Warrior, basically what's happening is, this is just a visual component. When I drop the Skeleton Warrior somewhere, what the UI is doing is it's saying, okay, I've now requested that this card be moved to this position, so I'm gonna call my inventory class and say, hey, try to move this card to that position. And if that fails, then the card will just snap back to where it was. So it's like, oh, it can't drop anywhere, so it just snaps back to where it was. But if it succeeds, what will happen is the inventory component or the inventory class will emit a signal that this card has been moved to this position, and the UI responds to that. So nothing is actually happening in the UI. The UI is just sending requests to the inventory class, and it is updating in response to signals that the inventory class is emitting. That would be the way to approach it. In terms of what nodes to use, it's largely up to you, like however you want to visually represent it. If control nodes are the easiest way to do that, then use control nodes. If a combination of node 2Ds and control nodes are the easiest way to do that, then you can do that. How you represent the inventory visually is entirely up to you. But yeah, that's what I would recommend, generally speaking. These cats are still running around. All right, maybe what we'll do is I can start highlighting some more stuff here, but let me do this. So we got that. Let's just do some more highlighting, I guess. Let's start with this one, the scales here. And we'll just go ahead and do this. Just doing highlights, nothing too taxing here. It's already looking decent, I think. Okay. Just trying to see if there's any other places where I can... Okay, cat. All right, I get it. You want to be buried. I get it. You don't need to yell at me. You don't need to yell at me. Here you go. Goodness. These animals, so demanding. That's probably good. Probably all right. Okay, and then we just go ahead and place some of these just randomly around. Little highlights here. This part up here probably needs to be highlighted a little bit more. That'll work. Okay, I think that's basically it. We don't need to go too overboard on this. There we go. I think the scales are good now. Let's go ahead and move these into the finalized folder here. So everything that's finalized is like, yeah, it's in this group. Oops, okay. Let's just go ahead and throw that in game and see what happens. I like the asymmetric sprinkly lighting to it, yeah. So the idea is that the light is kind of coming from, like, I've been drawing everything with the light coming from like the top right. So from the right top corner of the screen and then like diagonal across. I haven't done that perfectly, but that's generally the approach that I'm taking. And so when you're doing stuff that's supposed to be like engraved, like these things, you got to think about that. So for instance, on this side, the light is going to be on the right outer part here, right? But then when you're looking at something that's like curving the other way, where is a good example of that? Like here. So this little part here, I wouldn't want to put the lights on this side because then it would look like the light is coming from that direction. So it needs to be on the interior curve of this, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's going to highlight this part and then the interior curves here. And just generally, as you can see with the snakes too, so highlight on this side, highlight on that side, but then this interior curve here is highlighted, but this on the corresponding snake over here is on the opposite side, on the outer right part of the curve. So that's just generally how I approach this stuff. You could see it with these little decorations too. But yeah. And then you just take like a single brighter pixel and just slap it in a couple of spots, and it makes it look, like you said, sparkly. I don't know. I think it works pretty well for this game at least. Okay, so the windows are the big things that need to be updated here now. I don't know how this is going to work, but let's go ahead and try it. What the heck? Okay. There we go. I'll break this up in a little bit. I just want to get this working. That probably works. Yeah, I think that looks decent. I think that looks decent. Can't really complain too much about that. And then the same thing here. Ah, son of a biscuit. Okay. Alrighty. Hello, V. Welcome back. No worries, no worries. Always good to see you. How are you doing? We're just doing more UI stuff. The albatross around my neck. I actually think that looks fine. I might not even do much more in the way of like breaking up the color. I think that looks fine, probably. I think it looks fine, probably. Okay, this part here is a little bit weird. Maybe we will bring this up. Oops, like that. Yeah, that'll work. Break that up a little bit. Okay. Okay. I'm great. Got a new fancy litter box for my cat today. Hope she likes it. Oh, is it one of those automated ones? Little automated litter box. Okay, that looks all right. We'll just keep going on down. Whew. This is tough work, let me tell you what. It's time for game dev once again. Yes, it is. Welcome back, Jackie Daytona. Always good to see you. Nah, but it's open top, so my dog can't get inside to try to eat the litter. Oh, yeah. Classic dog and cat problem. You know, I was taught as a kid that, you know, dogs and cats would not get along. They'd eat each other. But turns out the dogs just are not really interested in the cat. It's interested in the cat's byproducts, though. It's kind of funny. When will the game be in early access? I haven't decided if I'm going to release it in early access yet. But I want to do a release in the first quarter of next year. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm not going to release the game until I'm very confident that it's going to do well. So if it takes longer than that, then it takes longer than that. But I do want to release the game relatively soon. I don't want this to be in development for years on end. You know what I mean? I did that with Gunforged. I'm not doing that again. Gunforged was in development for a long time, though, because I just didn't know what I was doing. Okay. We're getting there. All right. We'll give this the same treatment here. Yeah. Okay, that'll work. Oh, goodness. This is very tedious. All right. That'll be fine, I'm sure. Hello to Paul V. It's been a while. Yeah, welcome back. Good to see you again. Alrighty. That update in the game, oh, it did. Very nice. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. So really, it's just a matter of figuring out what to do with these empty spaces up here and then down here as well. I may just move this cell up so that the bottom is aligned with this. Well, yeah, I don't know. Looking good, though. Can't complain. How do you gauge the playability? Is it more about how you feel playing it, or is it more of a feedback kind of thing despite, say, limited amount of testers on top of unknown playtime and said testers? Yeah, I mean, the way that I'm kind of approaching it is, yeah, I mostly build the game in terms of like what feels good to me, but then what I do is I kind of use the play tests as experiment to validate some things that I'm thinking. So, for instance, in the next play test, my hypothesis, or at least the way I'm trying to build the game, is that when I get to the next round of playtests, I'm expecting, or I want the most feedback to be around the fact that there's not enough variety in the map. So basically, I'm giving players a longer run where they have a longer time to get a build together and get going, and they have more nodes to explore. But what I'm expecting to see based on the development of the game is that people are going to like the increased length. They're going to like the fact that they have more opportunities to create the build that they want to create, but they're going to say, hey, the map feels very samey to me every run. That's what I'm expecting to happen. And so it's kind of like an experiment. It's like a hypothesis. Like, am I building the game in a way that is going to generate the feedback that I'm expecting? I don't know if that makes sense, because what that tells me is that I'm on the right track. But if I get a bunch of feedback that's like, hey, this game is not feeling good at all, I don't like how the map works, I don't like, how the builds are working, this doesn't feel good, that doesn't feel good, this doesn't work intuitively or whatever, then that can tell me maybe that I need to take the development in a different direction, or I need to revisit some foundational things. So it's kind of a combination of I just play it until I feel like it feels good, but then I'm also running like almost like science experiments. Like, am I going to get the feedback that I'm expecting when I release this build in playtest? And that can tell me either that I'm on the right track or I'm not on the right track. And both situations are useful information, right? But like I said, I also am considering bringing on like a game design consultant to help me think through some of the bigger game design questions. So we'll see. We will see. I'm a bit frustrated with Unity. This time of year always seems to bring some kind of controversy. Right now I'm talking about the hack. Oh, there was a Unity hack? I didn't hear about that. IDK, if I should do pixel art or hand-drawn game, Yeah, it's up to you, whatever you feel most efficient and comfortable with, I think. Maybe the empty spaces can be filled with more animated texture, maybe shaders. That's an interesting idea. Okay, I think let's take a break from the UI for a second, because I still need to figure out what to do with all these things, but the UI is functional as is, so I think what I want to do is what? What do I want to do? Let's take a look at the board and see what we got going on. More like a security flaw. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. What was the security flaw? Hello, Emerson, welcome back. Good to see you. This is in progress. We gotta figure out how to make echo work a little bit nicer. We haven't done an artifact in a long time. Oh, I should make this bigger so you can see it. I haven't done an artifact in a long time. Maybe we can add another artifact. There was one artifact that I wanted to nerf. Oh, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to also nerf the sundial as well. So we're going to do those two artifact things. And then let's maybe do another artifact. Oh, nerf Basilisk Eye. So yeah, we'll figure out an artifact to do after I nerf these things. But yeah, I want to get back into some code. I've been doing too much art lately. That's the nice thing about being a solo developer is like if I ever get sick of doing art or programming, I can just switch, or sound effects or whatever. I can just switch what I'm doing for a while. Keeps it fresh, you know what I mean? But anyway, we're going to nerf these 3 problematic artifacts that I've identified in my playtesting. And then we'll add a new artifact. I think increasing the artifact pool is going to be very cool. And then maybe we'll do a playtest as well. I've got some other stuff I want to do here, like I want to replace the Ox and Scarab abilities with a composed version, which is just a technical detail. Do need to add tier indicators for events on the event screen. I got to figure out how that works too. Oh boy, lots of stuff to do, lots of stuff to do. I heard every time you say the word Unity, you need to pay a fee for them. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Wish I had the same full-time focus for my game that you do. Yeah, it can be nice, but anyway, yeah, I'll be right back in just 3 minutes. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, we will do some artifact work. So, BRB. Hello, everybody. It's me, your favorite niche internet e-celeb. Okay, let's nerf some artifacts. So Skull Wand. Oh, I forgot what it's called now. I haven't done my artifact work in a long time. I wonder. I don't even know where all this stuff is. Oh no. Scripts, data, artifact. I've actually got quite a few artifacts here. Minion crit chance is what it's called. We're going to reduce that to 0.1, so 10%. Okay, that's nerfed. Done. Nerf sundial. This is going to be a little bit trickier one. So the sundial right now, it's a little bit OP because what it does is it multiplies by 50%. So it multiplies the stacks applied by 2. I'm going to change this, which I think is still going to be strong, but I think it's just not going to be as strong. So it's multiplying by 2. Instead, what I'm going to do is this is going to be quite a big nerf, but I think it's going to be better. It's only going to have a 50% chance to increase the stacks applied by 1, and it's going to have a 50% chance to decrease the stacks applied by 1. So there's a couple reasons why I'm doing this. One, if you're already applying 10 fire and you apply 20, it's like that's a huge buff. Even though it could have been halved before, but doubling is often just better than halving, right? Or it's always better than having. So it's just a guaranteed DPS increase. This kind of, what this will do is this will make it like an even DPS, but it will give you like bursts of damage. Because I believe that this applies before the crit chance applies. So if you've got like a 50% chance to crit on fire applied, the fire will be increased before the crit chance applies. So this is still going to be really powerful, especially if you've got crit chance on your stuff. And the second reason why I want to nerf it too is that now this becomes a lot more appealing to stack. So you can get multiple sundials, and the multiple sundials will potentially increase your stacks by quite a lot. And then, of course, following up with the crit chance and stuff. So we're going to try that and see if that works. Oh, I need to update the descriptions as well. Let's see. Minion crit chance. Here we go. What the heck am I even doing here? 10%, and then the sundial. 50%, and preserve to stacks applied by 1, equal chance for amount applied to be decreased by 1. Oh no, yeah. So hopefully this is going to be a little bit more reasonable. We'll have to play test it though. I haven't been taking the sundial in my games because it's just way too powerful. Okay, so Skull Wand, description, change, and then nerf sundial. Okay, and then we got to do the Basilisk Eye now. So what the Basilisk Eye does is it permanently exhausts an enemy minion. I'm going to change this to do a paralysis debuff for, let's do 8 turns. So it'll still give you an advantage when the combat starts, but it's not going to permanently disable a minion, because the problem was so number one, you can stack the Basilisk Eye as well, which means that if you had like 3 Basilisk Eyes, it would just like totally trivialize a lot of boards permanently. But the other thing is that when it would randomly target the boss, it would just trivialize boss fights as well, which is okay to happen sometimes, but I think it's just going to be better to have it paralyze for a certain number of turns right when the combat starts. So that way it does give you an advantage, but it doesn't necessarily trivialize the fight, because then the boss or whoever is paralyzed will recover. So that's what we're going to do with that. And then let's go ahead and go to the Basilisk Eye here. Paralyzes a random enemy minion for 8 turns when combat starts. Okay, so that should work. Oh, the other thing I want to do, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this, but spiderlings are still way too strong. So I think what I'm going to have to do is remove the swarm from the spiderlings. I think. Do I need to do that? Or let me think. No, my spiderlings, yeah. I think they're just way too strong with swarm. Like, swarm is very strong generally, which I don't really have a better way of nerfing it other than just reducing the opportunities to gain swarm. And the spiderlings so there's a couple of approaches I could do. I could make it so the spiderlings only have swarm, so that way you can't just make a board composed of spiderlings and they just destroy everything. So they have swarm, but they don't have any damage on them. And it makes it so that the spiderlings become sources of swarm, but that you have to alchemize into other stuff. So that's one approach I could take. I can remove the swarm from the spiderlings and just give them like 1 damage or 1 poison. I might actually change it so that they only deal damage, because poison bypasses shield. So even if you've got like 4 spiderlings on the board, that's still going to do quite a lot of damage. Yeah, that's right, V. I did apply that. So Swarm only targets 1 other card with Swarm randomly. But I did a build last night where I had I think I had like 16 spiders on my board, and it was just ridiculous. Like, it was just, even in the later fights, it was trivializing everything. So I think the problem is not necessarily that you have so many spiderlings. The problem is that they all have swarm. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to nerf that. Sorry to say. I'm going to try just removing swarm from them. And I'm also going to remove the poison. We're going to get rid of swarm. Goodbye. And then we're going to do ability builder. Because here's the thing. Having a constant source of 1/1 minions is actually really good for certain types of builds. So for instance, the marionette deals 4 damage per minion on the board. So if you've got 8 spiderlings on the board with a marionette, that's 32 damage that you're going to be doing. So having a 1/1 minion that also does 1 damage is actually really strong, and getting those consistently after combats, I think it's still going to be strong, but it's going to be a little bit more situational. At least that's the way I'm thinking of it. Whether today is spiderlings with a chance of swarm. Yeah. Maybe they only have a chance to have swarm, not making it guaranteed. Yeah, I could do something like that, but I'm going to try this approach first. Okay, is there anything else that I want to do here? I wanted to do another artifact. Anyone have any artifact ideas? Let's see what I got in here. Monkey Paw. Critical hit chance doubled, but chance to fail and damage self, heal enemy. That would be a good one. Enemy minions have turn cooldown increased by 1. Increased damage based on held currency. That could work. Increased chance of legendary alchemy output. Increased fire applied, but increased time to trigger. Elixir of Immortality. Philosopher's Stone. Anyone have any other artifact ideas? I think the Elixir of Immortality could be a good one. Gains holy resistance the lesser your HP. That would be a good one. It requires me to have the holy effect, but I think what I would do maybe is I would do like, I already have a chalice item, but let's just do this. I'm going to modify that slightly. Prevent death caused by holy damage. So we could just basically make you not immune to holy damage, but make it so that holy damage can't kill you. I don't know if that's interesting enough, or maybe it could do something along the lines of reducing holy damage. Maybe it would even be, or like you said, increase holy resistance based on missing HP. It would be nice to have one that scales off of your total HP. So something that scales a stat based off of your total HP or max HP. Maybe something like all shielding applied is increased by 1 per 25 max HP or something. That could be an interesting one. The Elixir of Immortality would be a good one because I think what that would do is it could be a consumable maybe. I'm thinking it's an item that would like heal you. If your health goes to 0, it would heal you some amount. But maybe only once. That could be an interesting one. The idea, like introducing the idea of artifacts that can only be used once is a cool thing to do. I like this, the Elixir of Immortality, or the Chalice of Saint's Blood that nobody talked about. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome back. Sounds like a cool artifact. The one-use thing. Okay, let's do that then. Elixir of Immortality. Single use prevents death once. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna see if I can get this working then. Create new resource. Immortality Elixir, kerblam. Let's just copy the cloak for now. Paste as unique. Paste as unique this. Okay. Upon reaching 0 health, heals 50% of max health. This item is consumed on use. Okay, let's go ahead and try this now. Basilisk Eye, new file. Immortality elixir. All right, what do we got in here? This might be a tough one. This might be a tough one. Board. Combat component. Okay, so there's some good news here. I can add another layer of abstraction here. So let's do this. The board combat component. We're going to put a died signal in here. Node, no. Signal, public, delegate, void, died, event, handler. We're going to change this board here. This is going to, instead of listening for health component died, it's going to be board inventory component dot died. Oh no, board combat component. Okay, so board combat component now. We've got the health component, so we're going to do this. Health component dot died plus equals on died. Private void on died. We're going to do artifact manager dot onboard died. Do we have a reference to the board here? Oh, owner board. Owner board. Let's go into the artifact manager here. Public static void on board died. Let's just do this. Yeah, let's do that. Base artifact.onboard died. Public virtual void onboard died. Okay. Do I need the artifact context? I guess I do. Artifact context. Okay. So in the board combat component, we're setting in that onboard died there. If health component dot let's just do this. Public bool is dead. Current health is less than or equal to 0. So now we're going to do this. If health component dot is dead, emit signal died. So we're going to give the artifact manager an opportunity to save or to modify the state of the game when a board dies before we emit the final signal. I think that's the way to do it. And then in my immortality elixir here, How do I do this? Artifact context dot get artifact manager dot get board man. Is this how I'm doing this? Hold on. Context helper seed tree root. Okay. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. If board is not equal to player board return, cool. So now what we can do is we can do player board dot board combat component dot heal. Oh, how do I do this? New. How do I do this? We're gonna have to figure this out. All right, get rid of all this stuff. Damage. This may not be what I want to do. Hold on a second. Can I just do this? Context helper dot create execution context. Does that work? Where am I calling this? The problem is I'm not really going to have an execution context in here, so... The problem is if I call damage here, it's going to be trying to track the damage dealt. So how am I going to deal with this? The problem is that a damage might happen as part of an execution context, but then if the damage kills or puts the health component down at 0, it's going to call this onboard died through the artifact manager. This doesn't have... It's not hooked into the proper execution context. So I could modify the code so that this gets called as part of the execution context. I don't know if that's a good idea, though. I mean, I could do it. I could do this. If not health component dot is dead, then we're going to do this. Maybe this is the way to do it. If not health component is dead, and then if health component dot is dead, maybe we'll do this one first. Artifact manager. Onboard died, owner board. We can pass in the execution context now. We have to check this again. If health component dot is dead. And we're going to do emit signal died. We'll get rid of this died signal. I might as well just delete this signal here. We're not going to do this anymore. And now I can pass in the execution context. I don't know if this is going to work, though. I'm just trying to think about this very carefully. Execution context. This probably makes more sense. I just have to make sure it works well. Do I want to change this with base card equals null? No, I don't want to do that there. No, I don't want to do that there. Okay, anyway. UI be looking nice. Thank you, Monkey Software. Appreciate that. Soulstone traps the souls of enemy minions that have been defeated. Gain X for every Y souls trapped in the stone. That's a good one. Normally, immortal means forever instead of one time. Well, you got to read the fine print on the immortality elixir. It's just marketing speak. It's you're legally able in this universe to claim immortality if it's a one-time use. It's just a law that was passed. Severed Executioner's Hand gains 10% of defeated foes' HP as blood. Ooh. Phone typing is so slow, yeah. Roasting spit with a full pig for the villagers. Ooh, that's a good one. Good morning, Ninja Link. Thought you would change the artifact resource to configure the number of uses or something like that. I don't know if it makes sense. I might have to do that, yeah. Is there Philosopher's Stone? I have that written down. I just don't have it. I don't have it functional. New to Godot and C#. What are your thoughts on building and maintaining code documentation for personal projects? I don't do it. I don't do it. Yeah, I just don't. I personally don't think it's useful. It adds more work to maintain the documentation and keep it up to date than it does to just write your code in a way that is easily understandable to begin with. That's my personal opinion. I know people disagree with me, but it's too much overhead for me. Like, my code should be easy to read and understand to the point where I don't need documentation for it. That's my goal. Yeah. Tears of the Missing Orphan. Oh my gosh, we're going hardcore. Prolongs enemy cooldown by 10 to 50%. Depends on how much of their total damage is holy damage. Okay. Hello, I don't know how to say your name, but welcome. Why are you using Godot with C#? Any benefits? Why is not Unity? No benefits, just personal preference. And Godot, again, I just like Godot. I think Godot is the best 2D engine you can use. I think it beats every other 2D engine, basically. I know Unity gives you some nice stuff, even with 2D, but yeah, I like Godot a lot. Feels very intuitive, very easy to use. It suits me well, I think. Yeah, I think your suspicion is right, Luke. Yeah, you don't want to add a bunch of overhead to yourself, especially if it's not providing much value. That's my personal opinion anyway. Streamer won't speak with a chat. I'm here. I have to work on the game as well. I can't read the chat the whole time. I think it helps you learn how to make your code readable to others, but I try to make the code itself readable to anyone that can code rather than comment. Yeah. I had my fair share of abandoned projects, and when I reopen it, it's like a reading Elfish. So this time around, I like to comment as if I'm writing for a dementia patient. Well, there you go. I use Turbo Warp since I have been using that the longest. I don't know what that is. What about a sunstone that stores solar energy during the day so you can charge your cell phone at night? Oh, okay. A solar stone, huh? That's funny. There's another fee to pay. No! I said Unity again. Okay, so in here then, in this immortality elixir, adjusted execution context is equal to execution context with base card equals null. Source board equals player board. I mean, I might as well just create a different. New damage context. Okay. Source board, damage type, damage amount is critical hit. Okay, so damage amount, max health times 0.5 is critical hit equals false. Okay, I think that should work, maybe? Okay, maybe that will work. Let me just make sure my logic is correct again. So after we apply one of these damages, we're going to check if the health component is dead. We're going to call this artifact manager onboard died. If the health component is still dead, we're going to emit that signal died. Otherwise, we're going to go if... actually, I could do this. I can move this out and do this. So if we're dead, we're going to do onboard died. If we're not dead after this gets called, we're going to apply the on damage dealt artifact manager, which may also trigger the death. So we're just going to do a bunch of operations in order. So if we die first, we'll try to heal through that artifact. If we're not dead, either because we healed or just because we're not dead, we'll go ahead and call this on damage dealt here. Where is this being used, actually? I should make sure that that's not being a problem. Okay, yeah. I think that should be fine. And then if after all of that we're dead, we'll admit that signal died. I think that will work. Let's see. Let me just build real quick. Oh, I think there are going to be some errors here. Oh, wait, maybe not. I think we're okay. Yeah, we're good. Okay, project. Let's go to game debug. Enable test player artifacts. We need to make this only used once as well. Immortality elixir close. Elixir of Immortality. Upon reaching 0 health, heals 50% of max health. This item is consumed on use. All right, let's see how long it takes me to get to a combat that will actually kill me. Agree in making self-documenting code. Becomes a bit of a problem for me if the function branches into many different places and need to understand it without going into those places though. But yeah, I like documentation simply because I love writing and reading, but also code should be self-explanatory. I do document stuff that isn't straightforward at first glance, like my dungeon generator. That is a combination of binary space partitioning and wave function collapse. Yeah, that could be a good place for documentation for sure. I think I've said that before, where it's like if you've got a complex algorithm that it's not necessarily clear what's happening, then comments or documentation can help in that situation for sure. But you don't need to be commenting like a piece of code that says reduce level count by 1 or whatever. Turbo Warp is basically like Scratch, but you can make and use custom extensions, and you can use it both online on the web and also offline in the desktop app. Oh, interesting. Okay. You should not comment your code to oblivion. I agree. Wave function collapse. Anyone else watching the 15-inning, 5-hour-long baseball game last night? Mariners won and are moving on, which is awesome, but man, I'm tired. I don't know. I would bet that we don't have many baseball fans in the chat, but I could be wrong. 5-hour-long game, though. That's crazy. Algorithms are harder to understand at a glance. Yeah, if you have to mix them. When I was starting to learn, my teacher told me I was writing a Bible instead of comments. Wow. Very nice. Do you enjoy any IRL games like airsoft football? I used to, but I don't do any like exercise-related games anymore. Nope. I don't do anything like that. Dude is a living vampire, doesn't go out in the sun and touch grass. It's true. Actually, I will be going out in the sun more often right now because it's autumn and I want to see the trees. Autumn is my favorite season. Winter is my second favorite season. Summer is my least favorite season. So yeah, maybe I am a vampire. Who knows? Because the ones who can are immediately dismissed as normal humans. Nobody's on to us, yeah. All right, let's see if I die here. I don't think I'm gonna die. Yeah, probably not. All right, I'm gonna have to find a combat where I can actually die. Maybe this torch villager. Unfortunately, I just have to watch this because if I click auto resolve, I'm not gonna know if the artifact works or not. This one might kill me. Yeah, this one might kill me. Nope, it didn't. And it didn't even trigger the artifact. You know what they say, son of a biscuit. Okay, I'm gonna die to this one probably. Oh, look at that, it worked. Oh, it's working every time though. Okay, so it did work. It healed me for 38, which... Yeah, 38 is 75 divided by 2 rounded up. So that works. Okay, I'm very happy to know that that worked. What did it put in the combat log? Player board healed 38, there we go. Okay, so the combat log is working, that's good. So now we just gotta make it single use. how am I going to do that? Can I remove an artifact? Does this base artifact have a reference? It doesn't have a reference to... How do I want to handle this? Well, I mean, the easy way to handle it is if I go to my, let's see, immortality elixir. Private bool is used equals, well, we don't need to set it to false. If is used or player board is not equal to player board return, is used equals true. So that should work. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna mark it as used. Probably want to change the art for it. Well, we can figure that out in a little bit. I think that's gonna work though. So we added that artifact. Let's go ahead and draw something for it. And then we'll figure out how to display the fact that it's been used. Okay. I kind of want to do something like... kind of want to do something like this. It's probably not big enough. We'll start with this, I suppose. Oh, I forgot. I need to make this a little bit shorter. I think it needs to be 3 pixels away. Okay, that'll work. Cool. Let's see what I can do here. What in the heck? Oh, I still have some symmetry on. There we go. Okay. Something like that, I suppose. That might work. I don't know. Will it work? We will see. So I probably want to draw some kind of different art for this, I would think. Maybe? I don't know. I feel like that's not right. There we go. Okay. Let's go here. Elixir of Immortality. Oops. Edit this. Grid snap. 24 by 24. Highlight that. That coffee thick? Is it thick? Maybe. Maybe winning this many with an empty board is a problem. Yeah, it could be. I wonder if I could just reduce the player's starting health. Maybe I'll do that. Well, let me just write that down instead of doing it right now. That might actually help quite a bit. Make the game a little bit more difficult. Okay. Anyway. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you. First try. Do you fancy Warframe or the likes? I haven't played Warframe, no. I've been playing Battlefield 6, though, since yesterday, so that's pretty cool. You've never been told... Oh, been told what? First try? Oh, I hope that's not referring to first try. RIP. Will it be possible to refill it? I don't think so. I don't think so. I do not think so. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that Elixir Immortality, honestly. I think it looks pretty dope. Pretty slick, pretty dope, pretty sick. Upon reaching 0 health, heals 50% of max health. Okay, so the item is consumed on use. So basically the thing now is we just got to figure out what to do when it gets consumed. I could do... I think I want to do alternative art for this. So if I duplicate this, I think what I'll do is I'll just keep it... I'll keep it the same, but I'm gonna do some things here. So let's lock this one. Consumed. Let's put the background back on. We're gonna just fill all of this in here. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it darker, generally speaking. So I'm gonna take this color, I'm gonna change it to that color. I'm gonna take this color, change it to that color. I'm going to take the white here, change that to that color. Just make it a lot more muted, and I can probably do the same for this section here. Oh wait, that's not going to work. So that's the consumed version. It's just darker and empty. So now we got to figure out a way to make that work in code. Is this too far down? This is too far down. There we go. So we got to make that work in code somehow. Is the effect over the bottle, is the effect over if the battle is won without dying? No, it will only trigger, it will only be consumed when you die. So if you win the battle without dying, it's not going to trigger. So yeah. Oh, and the other thing that I need to do, I need to add another thing in here. If is used or not player board dot board combat component dot health, no. So the problem is if I stack multiple immortality elixirs, they will all trigger at the same time, but I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to add this extra thing to make sure that the player board is dead. If the player board is not dead, then only the first immortality elixir will trigger, which I think is going to be good. Okay, got to add that in there. Hello, Polaris, thank you. There's ever a good time to cheat death. Yes, indeed. Okay. What am I doing? Oh yeah, we need to come up with a way to change the art that's displayed. So the first thing that probably needs to happen is I need to be able to, on my artifact resource, I need to be able to have an alternative art here. Export public texture 2D. Alternative art. Taking forever to build. I don't got all day, Godot. I don't got all day. Copy, paste as unique. Edit this. Oops, put that in there. It still doesn't look like it's aligned. Oh, did I not re-export this? Maybe not, maybe I didn't. There we go, okay. Okay, so there's our alternative art. Now I need to figure out how to actually trigger that alternative art. This is ref counted, so artifact display. Artifact container, artifact display. Okay, here. I wonder if it's safe to do this. Protected, or let's do public bool is displaying alternative art. Get private set. We're gonna do protected void display alternative art. Is displaying alternative art equals true. Emit signal art updated. Then in my artifact display here, what I'll do is I'll do artifact dot base artifact dot display. What was it called? Art updated plus equals on artifact art updated. Private void on artifact art updated. I'm gonna need to pass in the artifact in there as well. Artifact resource artifact. Icon.texture is displaying alternative art. Okay, that'll work. And actually, we can just do this. Update art. Okay, that should do it, I think. I don't know. Let's find out. I'm just going to reduce the player health right now, actually. That might be a change that I want to keep. Streamer's cup of water. Sell this item for blood. Now go grab some water. New jobs kept me busy. I'm now a Saturday stream enjoyer. All right. Sounds good, Anthony. Congrats on the new job again. Hope it's going well. Hello, Zabraz. I'm doing well. How are you doing? I'm drinking bean water. I am. Finished my game I told you about. Very nice. You are welcome to share that in the Firebelly Games Discord in the game dev channel if you haven't already. Maybe you have. I don't know. I haven't checked that in a second. All right, let's see what happens. I should die to this one pretty easily. Oh, I forgot to trigger the art. My bad. Immortality elixir. Display alternative art. Okay. Let's try it again. Soccer game is about to start. Have a great day. All right. Sounds good. Hope you have a good day as well. We'll be wrapping up the stream here shortly anyway, as soon as I get this to work. As soon as I get this to work. Oh, I didn't even die there. I didn't even die there. I should die on this one, though. Nice. So we've got this Elixir of Immortality. It has changed its art now, which is good. Put those in there. Put those in there. Oh, I'm still going to lose. Gonna have to figure that out. But anyway, so that's consumed. So now I just probably want to do a... I probably just want to do get description addendum. I might as well just use the same language. Becomes exhausted on use. And then what I can do is inside of here, Iron Gauntlet, I can do this get description addendum. Put this in here and I can just put return is used. Exhausted. Otherwise, we'll just return null. Is that gonna work? Yeah, should. I would really love if you have 1 minute and 15 seconds of free time to see the trailer. I want to know what you think. The game is called Kidnap Time. Yeah, like I said, you can feel free to share it in the game dev channel in the Discord. And I usually watch the stuff that's posted there, so you'll also get some comments from other people, I'm sure, so that would be cool. Okay, so now it's showing that status. So upon reaching 0 health, heals 50% of max health. This item becomes exhausted on use, and now it's exhausted. Cool. I think that item is donezo. Now the other question is, do I need to do anything extra to add that to... Do I need to do anything extra to add that to the loot table? I don't. Am I using this artifact ID anywhere? I guess I am. Okay. I think that's it. So now we have the ability to have consumable items, which is good. Yeah, feel free. Anyone that's watching, if you join the Discord, you can feel free to share your own game dev projects in the game dev channel. We got a nice little community to help each other out, watch each other's stuff, all that good stuff. So I think it's going to be, I think it's nice. Anyway, that's it for the stream today. Thank you all for watching. We got a lot done. I accidentally changed the player health here, but that's all right. It's fine. Whatever. So that's it for the stream. Thank you all for watching. Again, you can wishlist Alka Mortis on Steam. It's right here. So hope you do that if you're interested in the game. You can also join the Patreon. As a reminder, the top Patreon tier has a brand new perk where if you subscribe for even just 1 month during development, you will get a Steam key for Alka Mortis when the game launches, as well as in-game Alka Mortis credits. So please consider supporting financially on Patreon. Otherwise, you can join the Discord, like I said, watch my videos, subscribe to the channel, wishlist. All that free stuff is a huge help as well. I appreciate your support, and also I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be back at it on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I hope to see you there. And yeah, that's it. Again, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.